Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and thanks for taking a little time to check today's video out. Going to give you guys the day one practice report down here at Grand Lake for the Toyota Series tournament. Starts this week, so I'll let you guys know how my day went. And before we get started, guys, I just want to remind you guys, Solar Bat extended the 25% off sale on my Signature Series RB2 sunglasses. If you guys want to get 25% off on the sunglasses all through the month of March and another grab bag full of sunglasses, I'll put the Solar Bat link in the description. You guys can check that out. Much appreciated. Okay, guys, can have a sort of not a short day. I got to get off the water at 4 o'clock. I got a promo I got to do for Bridgeford, so I'm gonna do today's video before I get into that. Sort of give you a rundown how it went here. Here's the thing about it, guys. Let me lay out the scenario here at Grand Lake. If you guys have never fished here before, this is a typical day on Grand Lake if you're practicing for a tournament. You'll pull into a large cove or a creek, and when you're pulling in there, like we talked about yesterday, there's always a couple boats pulling out, and you idle into the large cove or creek, and say if there's 5 or 6 good-looking secondary points in there, there's a boat sitting on every one of them. And then if you go to the back of the creek or back of the cove, you might as well not even waste your time, because there's always a boat sitting in the back of the cove. And then if there's a row of docks, say there's 10 docks or somebody starting to fish down a row of 10 docks. So here's the thing, you pull into a place like that, where do you fish? It's like all the points are taken, the best row of docks are taken, there's somebody in the back of the cove. That is the story of the day on Grand Lake. It's like, and that is the most frustrating thing about fishing this lake. It's getting hammered. There was a big Skeeter tournament here going on today. There was a big Anglers in Action tournament yesterday. There's the Toyota Series practicing on top of the Skeeter tournament, plus everybody just out fishing. It's a dang zoo out here right now. So anyway, today I went to an area of the lake that I haven't fished a lot the last couple of years, because I just sort of wanted to get a feel for it. Like I said, if I don't catch anything in practice, I know some areas where I can go to and probably catch them. So I sort of wanted to, get a feel for the lake all over. That's what I'm going to try to do today. And it was a grind today, guys. I was really surprised. The water temperatures and the water visibility look really good. I mean, you got anywhere between, say, 8 inches and 1.5 feet of visibility where I was fishing. Water temperatures in the low 50s. Perfect pre-spawn scenarios. There just wasn't a lot of fish up. I caught 3 non-keepers, and then I did catch one about 5 pounds. I only had 4 bites all day long. Only one of them was a keeper, that big one, and 3 short ones. And I'm sort of scratching my head with it a little bit, because everything is indicative of some good fish being up shallow right now with the water temperature, with the water clarity and all that stuff. And talked to another buddy of mine that was down here practicing for the tournament, and he at the time is the same thing. He'd caught a couple non-keepers and 1 keeper. So it just sort of reaffirms my belief what's going to go on in this tournament. I just think this is going to be a live scope dominated tournament. I just think that the bigger fish, I don't think that the big fish or a lot of the quality fish have moved up into the shallow water yet. And when I'm talking about shallow water, I'm talking about less than 5 feet, or typically they are this time of year. And it also could be the part of lake I was in. I mean, I'm gonna switch to a different part of the lake tomorrow. Grand Lake is notorious for having certain areas of the lake that are on, and certain areas of the lake that they're just not biting in. I was in the one they were not biting in today. I can promise you that. So tomorrow I'm just gonna make a switch to a different part of the lake and sort of get a feel for that. But my goal over the next 2.5 days is I'm going to try to sample a lot of the lake and just try to get a few bites and try to feel where I think the best water is, given the fact of the weather we have coming up. It's going to throw some people off the next couple days, because it's supposed to be really nice and warm up a little bit the next couple days, and then it's supposed to get crappy in the tournament. Snow showers, rain, temperatures dropping. So that's going to change up a lot of stuff here. But overall, guys, first day of practice, it absolutely sucked. It was a boat show. It was hard to find any place to fish. There were boats running everywhere around the lake. I got this one cove, guys. This one cove that I've been fishing for 50 years here, up until about, say, 10 years ago, it was a guarantee. You could go in there in March and you could catch 2 or 3 4-pounders every time you went in there. Guys, I have tried to fish that cove the last 2 or 3 tournaments I fished down here over the last 2 or 3 years, and I pull into it and I just turn around and come out of it because you can walk on the boats in there. There's so many freaking boats fishing, and it's not a big area. I mean, it's a cove that's like maybe 100 yards long, but it's like a boat every 50 feet. I just don't get it. It's like, that's the frustrating thing about Grand Lake, guys. You guys that fish Grand Lake know what I'm talking about. But if you don't know, if you've heard about Grand Lake and all the classics here, guys, it is just getting hammered. It's a boat show. It's hard to find a place to fish. And I talked to a couple of the guys that fished that tournament yesterday, that Anglers in Action tournament. And even a couple of the guys that had an okay day said that they struggled. They didn't get hardly many bites at all. They just got 4 or 5 bites all day long, and they happen to be decent fish. So it's always a grind on Grand. It's never easy here anymore. It used to be, but it's not easy to catch them here anymore. I look for this tournament again to be top heavy. I think there's going to be a half a dozen guys that whack them, and I think overall the field is going to really have to work for the ones that they do get. So anyway, it's going to be a tournament. It's going to be the live scopers versus the bank beaters. Like, that's how it's going to go down. I look for the live scopers to really put a whacking on the bank beaters this tournament. But not to say that you still can't catch a few, because I still think you can make a top 10 here fishing shallow when you get around the right areas. So I'll keep you guys updated, guys. Sorry, it's just not whining, but I'm just little frustrated, man, after just it's just so hard to find a place to fish. I guess that's the whole thing about it. It's like when we go fishing, you want to be able to just go fishing. You don't want to pull into an area and not be able to fish because there's so many boats, and that's hard to spin that into anything positive. It really is. So I just got to sort of get an attitude readjustment for tomorrow, get into some fresh water, and sort of put some things together. But we'll keep you updated, and thanks for tuning in. See you.